Hello everybody, it's the Vintage Reviewer back with another video, and today I will be reviewing the original GoBots screwhead. I would have taken the time out of my day to read what year he was from. Well, you know, it's gotta be before 84, so, you know. This is the only GoBot I have Powwow from the Wendy's GoBots line. Yeah, I might review him. Yeah. But this is the only GoBot I have in my possession. The only GoBot I intend to ever have in my possession, unless, I get, because there are a few GoBots that are a bit cooler than the Transformers. Because, with the Decepticons and the Autobots, all they ever chose was jets. No propeller planes or anything like that. And I'm more of a propeller plane kind of guy. And the GoBots had propeller planes. So I might get me some of those guys in the future that transform into propeller planes. I mean, what do GoBots call it? What do GoBots call it? I don't know. I'm a huge Transformers fan. Except for the newest Transformers, I haven't watched them. Transformers Prime, watch that. Bring that up later in the video. I'm not really a big GoBots guy. GoBots was like, hey, we beat the Rush, guys. We beat Transformers to it. And then they were like, buy our toys. And kids was all like, ew, robots. And they turned into vehicles. Let's buy those. And then Transformers came out. And what's a GoBot again? I don't know. Transformers. That's what that was. So here we got Screwhead, my favorite GoBot of all time. Guys, he's just a big old cob with a screw on the front. That's from... Yes, as you can see, we got some worn out chrome. Of the 80s chrome. The sticker here is starting to peel back. He's a drill tank. Or a tank driller. He's got tank treads. That's what he does. And everything's chrome for the bottom. He rolls. He's got those squeaky wheels on his bottom. His drill does move around, but there's a head there, and so I wouldn't recommend it. So let's transform him, and the GoBots, all they knew that Hasbro had was the mini-cons, the ones I've been reviewing so far on the channel. All they thought that Hasbro got hold of was the mini-cons. So all these transformations are pretty much flip, pull, flop, done. That's what they were. Mostly all GoBots are just that. Flip something else, twist something, and then flip something. That's what it was. But now to do his proper transformation, I'm going to be dissing on GoBots almost this entire time, because I watched the cartoon. I hated the cartoon. Like, it didn't really make any sense. And Scooter's voice annoyed the crap out of me, and made me want to throw things if he kept talking. And he was one of the main characters. So I can just imagine what it would have been like for people throwing things. I never threw anything. I just turned off the TV. But, seeing TV's giving me horrifying. So he's gonna want to bend his foot up, his leg back, foot up, leg back, arms out, arms out, and there you go. You got Screwhead. in renegade mode. And he's got some nice little red there. Contrasts his big old feet. He's got a big old screw on his head. And that pretty much wraps it up, because he's a pretty lame GoBot. Articulation. His arms can do a 360. There's nothing else on the arms. His head can go all the way around, but I'm not going to, because it is rather stiff, and I would like to keep it that way. He does have a knee bend, but he's not much of a knee bend, because his legs are so loose. It does work, and his feet can go up and down, and that's a GoBot for you. Never really liked GoBots, like I said again before, but I will take a little bit of time to say my theory. It's not entirely 80s evolved theory. It's more of like a more modern theory, but here we go. GoBots are actually Cybertronians. Now, you may be thinking, I'm going to stop this video right now before this guy goes any further, but it's true. In the 2013 Transformers Prime cartoon, 2011, 2013, 2012, I think those were the years, I can't really remember. And in the cartoon, more towards the end, Optimus Prime said that in order to stop Megatron from getting his hands on the Allspark, the creation of all life on Cybertron, he threw it into space, in the depths of space where nobody could ever find it. And, you know, it's very possible. I've come to this conclusion myself. It is very possible that the Allspark found some sort of, when Optimus Prime threw it into space to prevent Megatron from getting it, it's very possible that the Allspark hit some sort of metal meteor, or like a rock containing some sort of metalloid compound, and started to terraform that rock into another planet, because, you know, Optimus violently threw it into space, abandoning it forever until he came back for it like a butt. But yeah, so Optimus threw it into space, and my theory is that it hit a giant space rock that contains metal of some sort, and terraformed it into the center of Gobotron. Because if you've ever seen a picture of Gobotron, it's like a little itty bitty ball, and then it's got like two cones coming off of it with like half of a planet. So it looks like somebody took an entire planet, went and pulled it apart till you see the core in the middle. That's what Gobotron looks like. And so my theory is that it just started to make a small planet, and, you know, it wasn't sophisticated enough, you know, anymore, because it didn't have its own planet and Alpha Trion and Vector Sigma and all that stuff to help it create life. So it made the silly, stupid GoBots in place of life, and that the GoBots are actually makeshift Cybertronians that the Allspark made while it was in exile. Because it's quite possible that if it can make all life on Cybertron, then if it was cast out into space, in my mind, it stands to reason that if you throw something that creates life into space, it hits something, it starts creating its own life. These guys don't know what Cybertron is, so, you know, they would just call themselves GoBots. I can't remember if they called themselves GoBots or what they called themselves. It would stand to reason that they would call themselves GoBots, and that the Allspark just created them. And that they discovered a different dimension, Earth or whatnot, and that's where it falls to pieces. But, you know, the main thing is gobots are actually makeshift Cybertronians that when Optimus Prime threw the Allspark into space, the Allspark found a rock, terraformed it into a new planet for itself, and populated it with life that can, you know, basically do the entire same thing as Transformers, but, you know, not run off any of the other stuff. So, yeah, that's my theory. It's a pretty far off theory, but it is a theory. Nonetheless, because after I watched Transformers Prime, I just kind of thought of gobots for a while, and I was like, gobots need an explanation. So I gave them one. Alright, well, that was deep enough. So, this is the Vintage Reviewer, and this is the 1983 or 4 something GoBots Screwhead. And, yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. So, if you like this video, leave a comment down below, like and subscribe. Check out some of my other videos for something you may like or might have missed or something. And, yeah, I will catch you on the flip side.